G'day guys, got some news. I got some goodies delivered yesterday. Inner and outer sill for the left hand side, and some torque boxes, inners and plates, and I'm going to reuse, well actually I'm going to use some of the parts of the old car, the old utility, so the old rear spare sill panel, which I'm going to clean up and use on the other side. But I'm going to use this this one I got from Howard. I'll use that as a reference, so I can get the lengths right and whatnot. So I have to do a cut and show at the front, and I'm going to try and use the inner sill on the driver's side. We'll wait and see once I. But before we get to that, we'll get this on the left side so we can build some rigidity in the car, and yeah, and then we'll have a look at the other side once that's all done. And yeah, right, let's rip in. So I use this as a bit of a guide as to how, because when I did something with the A pillar, I can't remember, but it felt as though it shifted out. Even it might have been just me knocking something and it caught on a bit of rust, but anyway, I couldn't sleep, so I had to put this rear spares on there, sill piece, just to get an idea how everything sat. But yeah, here's I was So what I'm going to try and do is obviously replicate the new one with this this unused rear spares item. Now I've got another driver's side one of these front bits. You can actually buy these separate on the older cars, but unfortunately you can't for these. You just have to buy the whole lot, or do what someone else did and try and knock one up, which I'll show you later on. So try and build a right hand one out of this. And then I've got to also treat the these flanges on the floor pan and the seat brackets, and also the torque box at the back before I weld that inner in. But just to get an idea what it used to look like, let's go over to the other side here. Yeah. So I'm replacing this and the outer ear. I'll try and keep the inner. You can see she's pretty well buggered there, but yeah. I've got some 2mm plate that I'll cut and patch up where I can. But yeah, have a go. In fact, there's a the creatures. There's a bone in there. I don't even actually see it, but yeah, she's a mess. This is the worst. It's worse in the Sills than my brother's car. We'll fix it. Just to give you an idea where I'm up to at the moment. This is the part of the driver's side front of the sill that I want to use on the hard top, and I'll weld it onto the outer, that the rear spares item I've got. So yeah, I'm just trying to rip out all the spot welds. It's a pain in the bum. I've done most of them. I've got to go on the inside and try and split the floor pan from the sills, from the pillar, and I'm just trying to get rid of some of this factory rust promoter they used to use. And look at this, you can see how well they welded the inner sill to the A pillar there. It's quality. So all this rust promoter, I've got to get rid of that. Many hours I've had a win and I've had a defeat.
That's the defeat. I got that out, and I've got to clean it up more. Just got to rip off that bottom bit, but I've been here for, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours, ripping apart this old XC A-pillar in front of the Sill assembly. And I've got most of it apart. I've got all of it apart now, and I'm just cleaning this up, dressing it. And I looked at it and going, you know what? I just can't be bothered. I cannot be bothered trying to take the spring out of this Rare Spares thing to match the profile of the original. So I'd rather go to work. Actually, I'd rather go to do overtime and buy another one of those, which I'm going to do. But what I did manage to salvage was the A-pillar. So I can reuse that. I can clean that up, replace that side there, and clean all this up, replace the other side at the top. But and then do a little bit of work down the bottom. But yeah, that's a pretty good A-pillar, that. So I'm going to use that. So I guess it was a sort of a win. So I've just done a trial fit with this inner, and it's got to go forward a little bit. But this is the bit that I'm interested in. So it hits the floor pan there, and it hits the lower part here. But you can see there's a gap just in here, so I'm going to have to fix that up and address that. I've got to weld that seatbelt thread inside, and then I've got to strip the paint. Well, I think I'll just use a wire wheel, get all the paint off, put some metal primer on, and then we'll weld her on. 2 o'clock thread to weld in, or the inner anyway. Oh. So weld those up, get those in a position. I've got a couple of T screws holding to the floor pan. This has got a gap in between. I've got to cut that back out and put a new one in. So it was out of position. So yeah, it's looking good. I got inner sill in. Just got to do the floor pan to inner sill welds. I got those plugged in. So I've got to lower the car now. And get all those spot drill holes plug welded. Inner sill to rear torque box done. I had to replace the ears on the torque box too because they were all rusted off. So yeah, did all that. Let's get this tied in. Don't know exactly where this goes, so I'm just going to pop a check screw in there, and then we'll trial fit the outer sill. So I've measured the back here. There's 20 mil there and there. And what we'll do, I've got the guard. Got the guard put on, just the old panel band one. Just to get a bit of an idea. And I reckon it's going to be about 20 mil, 15, 20 mil here. There you go. So 15 millimeters. So yeah, always pays to trial fit everything. This is the bit I was talking about. Yeah, so this slides underneath or above this torque box here. I've got to give this a bit of a trim. So 15 millimeters out of that, or I could just put a slot in there. And it's basically, the sills are fine. I think it's just where I've put this torque box. Because I've had to rearrange some of this here, yeah, this is a little bit out, so rather trimming a little bit out of here, 20 mil out of there. I think I'll just take it out of the torque box here. That's in the spot that I want it to be, because I mean, I could go a little bit further if I relieve that. And the angle's out a little bit, I'm going to have to squash them together. Actually, I'll bend him out. I'll probably slice it there and just bring it out a little bit. But basically, that's the spot where I want it to be. Because we'll try this out of Sill. Righto. Let's try this inner again, eh? My brother's joint and picked up the this XA door, and I want to test the sill. That's where I'm going. This bloody sill be all dented up and crap. So the gap there is consistent. I mean, you can move them down, up and down using these, and you can rejig it to get your angles right. I can move them up and down using these. But I can't move this up and down in relation to the door. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, the door's pretty much right. I'll get this jigger painted up, and that's a seatbelt hole thing. I'll get that painted up and I'll spot weld that in, plug weld it in, and then we'll get this sill in once and for all. Well, enough of the silly business now, guys. We're gonna get this outer sill stitched in and job done. Guys, this is about 95% done. So I just got a few little tidy up jobs. Just weld those up once I put the other A pillar in. Weld some more holes in there. Grind all these new welds off. And here I'll slice him down here, bring him forward, weld that into the torque box. But yeah. It's she's rock solid now. I've got every confidence that this is going to be a lot stronger than what it was. So Well guys, that wraps up this this left-hand sill job. Massive job, absolutely massive. I hope it's the biggest job that I have to tackle on this car, but something tells me there's a lot more in store. So with the driver's side sill, I'm not going to record that. I might just do a before and after, just to save on the pain. And we'll knock over the A pillars next week. I've got a plan for those, and we'll do the same. We'll just do the passenger side or the driver's side, either or, and we'll cut and paste for the other to save everybody the agony and the pain of watching this. Believe you me, guys, I didn't expect this to take so long. Rust repair videos are painfully slow, and they're really hard to make engaging. I've tried my best, so we'll see how we go. We're at stage 1 out of about 10 stages, so tune in next week. We'll knock over the pillars, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks.